Good afternoon. Thank you very much for your patience. The Secretary General will start with opening remarks, previewing the ministerial later this week, and then, of course, he'll be happy to take your questions. Secretary General.
Good afternoon. In less than 4 weeks, we will meet in Warsaw for our summit. And the summit takes place at the defining moment for our security. NATO has taken robust action to protect our nations and to contribute to the stability in our neighborhood. But the challenges we face are enduring, so we need to be prepared for the long haul. Over the next 2 days, NATO defense ministers will pave the way for decisions we will take at the Warsaw summit. First, we will bolster our deterrence and defense across the alliance against threats from any direction. In February, we agreed to enhance our forward presence in the eastern part of the alliance. We are now discussing the size, the scope, and the composition of that force. Based on the advice of our military planners, we will agree to deploy by rotation 4 robust multinational battalions in the Baltic states and in Poland. This will send a clear signal that NATO stands ready to defend any ally. But of course, our defense and deterrence does not rely on just 4 battalions. These are part of a much bigger shift in our posture in response to the challenges we face. We have tripled the size of the NATO response force to 40,000 troops. We have put up a new spearhead force at its core, around 5,000 troops ready to move within days. And we have set up 8 new small headquarters in the eastern part of our alliance to coordinate planning, exercises, and reinforcements. There will also be more pre-positioned equipment and supplies. Altogether, this strikes the right balance between greater ability to reinforce and to boost to our forward presence. We have also taken action so that our troops can move faster across Europe for exercises and reinforcement, if needed. National governments and parliaments have worked very hard to update procedures and remove hurdles. And we have made significant progress. Last month, the Spearhead Force conducted an exercise which showed how far we have come. 1,000 troops and 400 military vehicles moved from Spain to Poland within 4 days. We will continue to work to improve freedom of movement for our troops and equipment, because when a crisis emerges, speed can make a difference. So we have boosted our forces and increased our speed. But to sustain this shift, we must also spend more on our defense. 2 years ago, our nations made a pledge to stop defense cuts, increase defense spending, and move towards our benchmark of investing 2% of GDP in defense within a decade. On the spending front, the news is mixed. But today, we have some good news. I'm able to share with you our final figures for 2015 and our estimates for 2016. After the end of the Cold War, there was a long decline in defense spending across European allies and Canada. 2015 was the first after many years when we saw a small increase in defense spending, and you can see that from the slide. and our estimates for 2016 show a further increase. These are only estimates, but they are encouraging. The annual real change stands at around 1.5%, an increase of over $3 billion. 20 allies plan to spend more on defense in real terms this year. So this is real progress. After many years of going in the wrong direction, we are starting to go into the right direction. I will report on this to ministers and at the summit in Warsaw. But we are still far from where we need to be, and we clearly need to do more, both to increase the level of defense spending towards 2% and to spend on the priorities we have identified as an alliance. Second, we will focus on projecting stability beyond our borders by supporting our neighbors and partners, because a stable neighborhood will help to keep us safe. At our ministerial meeting, we will discuss how we can expand our efforts to strengthen local forces, enabling them to stabilize their own countries and fight terrorism, for instance, in Iraq. We will also consider providing AWACS surveillance planes to support the global coalition to counter ISIL. And we will assess what more NATO could do in the wider Mediterranean Sea, for instance, in support of the European Union's Operation Sophia. Our cooperation is proving very effective in the Aegean, where NATO ships contribute to cutting the lines of human smuggling. We will discuss the future of our cooperation and the cooperation between NATO and the European Union, together with High Representative Mogherini and ministers from Finland and Sweden. Projecting stability is equally important in our eastern neighborhood, so we will explore additional assistance for Ukraine and Georgia. On Wednesday, we will meet the Ukrainian defense minister in the NATO-Ukraine Commission. We are concerned about the security situation amid continued ceasefire violations in eastern Ukraine. We will also discuss the pace of Ukraine's reforms and the support provided by NATO. So over the next 2 days, we will take a series of important decisions to strengthen our collective defense and enhance our cooperation with partners. So with that, I'm ready to take your questions.